Hey Geek family, this is Justin. Today I sit down with Frank, Tony, and Brandon, and we're going to talk about movies, TV shows, actors, and a few wild tangents along the way. So sit down, buckle up, and I hope you enjoy this new episode of Alamo City Geek Speak. It's going to be a neat episode because Frank's funny, and Tony has a radio voice that sounds like it's... Remember that one hobo dude who got found, and he's like, I'm really good at making songs. Really
good at making songs.
Making songs to baseball games. It's called
The Story of Bruno Mars.
The Story of Bruno Mars. Wow, that's great.
What? He was a homeless man.
What, Bruno Mars?
Maybe.
He looks like it.
Yeah.
That explains why he came up with Uptown Funk.
Oh,
he knows what it's like to be on the streets.
Right.
The funk's the smell.
That's what I'm saying. Uptown Funk gonna give it to you.
It doesn't
when
sound
I
as
ask
good
for
when
a
you
dollar.
say Uptown Smell gonna give it to you.
Uptown smell.
Luckily for him, funk has multiple meanings.
Right?
It's cool because it's jive, man.
It's jive.
Well, as we do with every episode, we want to kind of take an opportunity to talk about what we've been through. Unfortunately, Brandon hasn't been on the last 3 episodes, so you got to listen to all that shit. And then we also have Frank and Tony, so we're going to start off today with Frank. Frank, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and, how you been?
Oh, all right. I've been all right.
You been all right?
Yeah, I've been all right. So I mean, I'm a part of the clique of Tyler and Samuel. So you'll hear me banter and make fun of them quite a bit, probably during this podcast, because they're not here.
That's all right.
Yeah, we talk shit about Jared all the time. So
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because it's Jared.
He can be in the other room and shameless, just say whatever we want.
Yep. But yeah, I'm gonna be one of the streamers for the channel. I've been actually working on an overlay for everybody, so that way all of our streams and stuff look real nice and streamlined. Everybody gets GIFs and notifications.
I get
and stuff.
gifts.
GIFs.
Oh, they said gifts.
Oh, he means GIFs.
GIFs?
Is what he...
Oh, peanut butter and
Jesus
GIFs.
Christ.
And I'm also a flat Earth truther. So not everything controversial.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
The memes. Oh, God.
The memes.
The mayonnaise.
I got memes.
The
I got memes.
Wow, this is happening. This is what happens. You go off the cuff. Is that the right term?
We're off the cuff.
We are pretty off the cuff.
Okay, just making sure. I was like, I've never used that before. I'm pretty sure it's like a New York cop saying or something. It's like, yo, man, I'm going off the cuff on this one. You need to watch my back. And it's like, don't worry, Tony. You're Tony, right? You're Tony. Don't worry, Tony. I got your back.
Hey, Tony. We
Hey.
got you, bro. We got you.
And that one cop who's way too serious about his job, like, I don't know, guys. It's going to get us in trouble or something. And it's like,
Supposed to retire next month.
Dude, is that movie coming out next month?
what, retired cop?
Yeah.
I think so. He
Sounds like some shitty
He had
movie
48
that's
hours before retirement. Shit just got real.
Liam Neeson.
And Kevin James.
I would watch that movie.
Yeah.
Because it would be a lot of
I would totally watch
it'd be like, get down. Here they're coming to kill us. And he's like, look, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Adam Sandler, where are you? He was like, this is my bicycle.
And then Kevin James does something a fat guy probably shouldn't be able to
Right,
do, but
well,
somehow does. He does flips.
He runs, he trips, he does a Chris Farley, oh God! Scream, and then he gets back up and he looks fine.
And he has hot girlfriends too, by the way.
And then he becomes a UFC wrestler with hot girlfriends.
I know, it's so weird. That guy's... It angers me. Why was he the president in fucking Pixels?
I haven't seen Pixel, and I just read that today that he was the president
It was so
in the movie.
bad.
And
It
I'm
was
like, of
terrible.
all people, they could have made Peter
Such a
Dinklage the
bad
president.
choice.
You know what? I actually opted not to watch that movie. Just because
Good.
the fact
I watched the first 45 minutes of that movie, and then I decided to watch not that.
We'll probably talk in a little bit about how 2015 was not a good year
I'd
for
rather
Adam
go
Sandler.
poop than
No.
watch that
In
movie.
general.
Oh, dude, nothing was ever a good year since 2000,
Hey, he
2000.
gave, this is the man. Be thankful. This is the man that gave us Billy Madison. He gave us Happy Gilmore. He gave us Big Daddy. This man, he's a legend in his own right. It's just like that old man that you say, "Oh, you're still good."
It's like Eddie Murphy.
Listen,
Yeah, Eddie Murphy. Credit him for a lot.
his career has been like watching, oh jeez,
Paint be paint.
paint beat paint, right? We could say that. Or John Denver's plane crash really slowly.
Slow.
Like, I'm talking over the course of 15 years. It's like,
Wait.
arm.
John Denver died.
Is he dead?
Oh.
Yes, Justin.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's fucking
Now
dead.
I'm questioning everything.
You know these freaking flat Earth trucers. Well, anyway,
Hey, there's flat truce.
flat truthers, truce. We totally got away. So, anything else you want to add in? I know that you're going to school.
Yeah, I'm actually in school for game design. It's not as glamorous as it really sounds. It's a lot of documentation, analyzing feelings, and organizing stuff. It's really fucking boring.
So,
But it sounds cool.
It does.
If you don't tell everybody what you just told us and all the listeners, like, we'd be all like, oh, this guy's
game design,
rock star.
Oh man, he probably program.
Yeah.
Program.
That's him
puts
typing.
on loud
by the way.
Skrillex and drinks a whole bunch of Red Bull and.
Did you say Skrillex?
Skrillex, yeah. It's actually the dub polka version of Skrillex.
That's obscure.
It's like
Surprised you've heard of it.
Frank's pretty much the JP of our crew.
It's pretty sad.
Well, you know the funny you say talking about feelings. So is it something like you submit work and then they submit back to you and say, John went through and changed one of your designs. How does that make you feel?
No, it's like you have to like write these analytical freaking statements based off of these stupid questions that they give you. And I'm like, how is this relevant to game design? You know what I really need to learn? Fucking C++.
I little did we know that game designers are actually licensed therapists.
It's terrible.
It's like
That's why a lot of games are just like, oh, the feels.
Yeah. You get games like The Last of Us, which are total crap, am I right?
right.
Wow.
Well, I think that you'll see the overlays. That's something you'll see.
Yeah, you'll definitely see those probably by the end of this weekend. I was actually working on them before I came over here. And then, KI World Cup. That's going to be a lot of coverage coming in for that as well.
There's gonna be so much stuff going on this weekend. I don't know how we're gonna be able to do all this. I'm just kidding. We're gonna do it.
Energy drinks.
Somehow, Monsters, Red
Adderall.
Bulls.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I was thinking, by the way, before we move to Tony, I was thinking yesterday. I was like, I've never had Adderall, and
You know what, Justin? I've also never had heroin.
I'm just saying, I was watching so this happened in a snowball effect. Tony put down in his chat name as I am Office Allies Erlich Bachman. I was like, I need to go back and watch fucking Silicon Valley again. So I did, and the part where they had what's his name, that coder kid from Bank of America. They had him come over and he was doing Adderall, and he was like, dude, just give me some Mellow Yellow and some Adderall, and I'll do it all weekend. Oh, fine. I was like,
I've never done that.
I've never tried that.
I've never had Mellow Yellow either.
It has Adderall in it. It's another half.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna.
So, aside from my want to try Adderall, I don't know why. I'll go to talk to a doctor. You done?
Yeah, I'm
I
done.
don't want to be like, are you done with the microphone? No.
Yeah, I'm done. I've said my bit. I'm done.
Let's go ahead and introduce you guys to Tony. Tony, we work with you, and you're a pretty cool guy and doesn't afraid of anything.
Hey, I don't work with Tony.
Yeah.
You don't, but you should.
So first off, thank you guys for inviting me to be on the podcast. It's an honor to be here. First time ever behind a mic and doing anything like this. So it's pretty cool.
You're right.
Not really a big gamer so much. I was telling you guys before the show or whatever. I kind of gravitate more towards like movies, comic books, music is a big thing for me. I love music. I don't know. I pretty much just hang out. I write a little bit on my spare time.
Like write movies or just write for fun?
Write for fun, just like scripts and little scenes that are in my head, and I'll write them out in like a screenplay format and things like that. And
Me and you need to hang out because sometimes I'll just start spouting bullshit out, and I'll be like, dude, that would make actually a really good show. Yeah. Like, anyone's ever done that? You have different dialects and stuff? Like, Ray rob a bank?
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld and George Costanza did that in one episode, and they got a pilot.
Oh, yeah. I think the episode was called The Pilot.
Yeah, it was.
Rest in peace, John.
And it's great because it's a parody on itself because they're like, oh, the show's about nothing. It's like, what is Seinfeld? It's exactly that. That show was so genius.
It was amazing.
It was
Larry David. Love Larry David.
That was... whoa. He is not just a piece of Jewish candy for you, wrap your lips around.
Oh, man. I want him so hard.
So, you think you could just do whatever you want with me?
Watch Curb Your Enthusiasm.
More Bernie Sanders.
Well, what's the difference? Let's just be honest. This is,
Well, that is true. He did do him on.
Saturday
He
Night
did
Live.
hard on his.
He was like,
so, what did you? What else are you into? What else do you do?
Let's see. I mess around with music a little bit on my laptop. I like hip hop a lot, so I make hip hop beats, like old school sounding stuff, like 90s style.
Like
hip-hop.
Run DMC kind of stuff.
Yeah, like no, it's a little bit more than just
like Will
that.
Smith's early work.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Brush your teeth and don't lie to your parents.
That was a perfect. Woo!
That was pretty good. Now say welcome to Earth after that, and you killed it.
Welcome to Earth. Woo! Okay.
This is Ric Flairish. I like it.
Well, I mean, I think that that's pretty cool. I mean, we don't make music, so you do something we don't do.
Well, I mean, I see that guitar over there.
I was like, hello.
Okay, first of all, you don't make music. You listen to somebody play something, you're like, I want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
No, I mean, he can make music.
Well, I don't know how to write like other stuff. Like I could do some like guitar stuff, but I don't know.
Oh my god.
I mean, I just honestly, man, I'm just like sampling stuff. I'm making drum patterns and stuff like that. I mean,
See,
it's not
and
super complicated.
That's
but
where I could benefit to learn something about is like
Yeah.
drum patterns.
Yeah.
Even if I had like something simple,
Yeah.
I could throw together some riffs
Mhm.
because
Pro Tools.
Pro Tools would be great, but that doesn't
there you go.
help the fact that I still don't know how to use it. But sometimes I'll listen to like just drum backing tracks, and they're just the same time signature over and over. Like nothing changes. There's no fills. There's no bridge.
Yeah.
So I kind of just get bored.
A lot of bands do that nowadays. They just have like some kind of drum program machine, and they get up there and rip on a fucking guitar or something.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome still.
They're so good at it.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Frank's petting a pussy over here.
Frank is taking a shining to my cat.
Yes. I thought we were all talking about.
Hopefully she
Jared
doesn't
for a
kill her with an axe.
second. Right.
Get it, shining?
Ha ha.
High five?
Here's Kitty.
I can curse, by the way, right? Hopefully
Oh,
it's,
dude, you can totally curse.
As long as you stay away from the big four.
the big four.
The big four. Okay, so we can't say the big C.
Oh, okay.
Cuckoo head.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That's strictly off.
That's
Why is
awesome.
that off limits? That's not fair.
The fact that I said it now, I feel really ashamed.
I see.
And also, you cannot refer to anyone as a dum dum.
No.
Well, that goes half of my conversation.
Or use haberdasher as a derogative.
Oh, wow.
You damn haberdasher is not appropriate.
Yeah.
Hateful Eight
Cuckoo
reference
head.
right
There
there.
you go. Hateful Eight reference.
Oh.
Because you haven't seen the movie yet,
I
have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
And he's on a
too
movie.
bad. By the way,
Mhm.
Hateful Eight, watch it. Good. Okay.
Amazing
It
movie.
is really good.
Brandon, my brother, dear brother, what have you been up to? Besides nothing and work.
Well, then nothing else. I mean, okay.
It's like, wow, this is
No,
very
this,
one-dimensional
this,
life right
this is also the first time I think I've been back on the podcast since we found out that Carell and I are going to have a child.
Oh, that's right. So congratulations. May your
Congratulations.
first child be a masculine.
So-
Or even feminine. It's fine. This is the 2000s.
This is we're a progressive family, you know.
What?
I'd like to think I'd be cool with it. I'd like the last name to live on, but that's on his conscience.
As long as they don't go around and start getting known by just
By the way-
like Flea or
Oh,
freaking
The Edge.
The Edge.
Oh, the guitars from
Brandon, I'm
YouTube, they
just
call him
saying.
The Edge.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like,
He's
I need to
edgy.
change my name legally to first name The, last name Edge. So on certain records, his name is Edge The.
In the phone book.
Oh.
So edgy.
Yeah, didn't. So that's really cool. We're really excited, and
First kid.
first kid. We don't know the gender yet. We're speculating boy because me and Justin are really we're the progenitors, right, of our last name.
They're the
All
progenitors,
my dad's brothers had girls, and all of his sisters had boys and girls. So anyone else with the last name Hernandez has either already had a child or they're female. So their name will not,
Well, I mean, again, we live in a very progressive age.
yeah. And
But still.
I would hope that we can pass that name on because that'd be cool. I don't want to be known as the one who's like, well, son, you tried, but our name's dying. You know, that's not how my dad talks.
Our name will no longer carry on. So,
He puts his hat on and walks into the
what
fog.
was it?
Just like
Freaking starts going straight up, freaking Alan Thicke. It's like, Ben!
Like,
Is
a
this
really
the
good
Sad
drum.
Hulk music, or is it?
I
No,
don't know if that was from MASH.
Yeah, I thought
It's
that was
Mash.
Mash. Yeah, that's a Mash
Oh,
reference.
why did I get Hulk and
Like,
Mash mixed
My
up?
dad flies away and goodbye is written on the ground in sandbags.
oh man,
And I'm bleeding out in the tent.
That's a great
he's
reference.
just like, oh, you couldn't see it.
Yeah, y'all missed it.
He was doing this weird thing where he was
I think that was like the Cam Newton dab.
Yeah.
is what that was. So
What is a dab? What is that?
I don't know. I used to think it was a drugs.
So it was.
I think it still is a drug. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's totally a drug.
It's like marijuana tablets, right?
Yeah, it's
So
Something
I
like
think dabs is when you take a marijuana paste or oil, or I think it's wax. I think something like that. You
well, there's different classifications. So you
I
got
know,
shatter, and then you got some honey.
Let me tell you about it.
Well, what you do is, yeah, it's a long process, but it's definitely not a stupid dance in the end zone.
Now it's
you
a
deep,
dance now. Yeah.
you deep freeze it and you hit it with a hammer, right? And it shards, and you slowly insert shards into your body.
No, you coat apples with it. When you put a stick through it, you give that away at office parties.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a great
That's an
party
amazing idea, actually.
because that's a lot of TNT, and someone's gonna OD.
Never share one marijuana needle, kids. Not even once.
Not even once. Well, you
So
know-
I guess the short answer to your question is what I've been doing is just gloating about my impending kid. And then that's
You know,
it.
I'm just gonna say this because you're my brother. But if that kid grows up to be a failure, I'm gonna go back and listen to this episode and be like, "Ha! No, it won't be a failure because
That's
it's
your
gonna be,
nephew
it's gonna-
and or niece.
Let's hope or niece. Not saying there's God makes
Whoa.
mistakes. I'm just saying.
What?
I'm not saying he makes mistakes. What I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's either either niece or nephew. If he decides to give us both, it's fine.
Well, it's not twins. We already know that.
Oh no, I bet you it'd be twins. Give it a second. And my toast is crazy.
I don't think
have a
that's
son
how.
again.
I don't think that's how science works.
That's not. You know what? That's how science works in movies.
Yeah, but movies are what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, I'm just saying. Think of it. Sylvester Stallone. I don't know. I'm sorry. Arnold Schwarzenegger. And who else? What's his face? Danny DeVito.
Oh.
They were twins in a movie.
Oh, Danny DeVito, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
that's just.
I'm your twin. And he's like, no, you look the same to me. He's not my clone, baby. Oh,
Now you're
damn,
ripping off
baby.
Mad TV. You think nobody will remember?
Right. No one will remember.
Sorry, Will Sasso.
Yeah, Will Sasso is just somewhere out there going, someone said Mad TV.
He's somewhere eating lemons.
Someone owes me money.
He's like, somebody said my name.
Doing Vine videos somewhere.
His vines are great though.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
put 28 gold that time.
it's
Anyway,
not your battery to carburetor.
so you done?
I'm done.
Are you sure?
Wait, Justin, what did you do?
But it's not important what I did. No, seriously.
No, really, what did you do?
What did you not do?
That's what I'm saying, dude. I went out and fucking partied.
We went to Slackers.
We did
that
it.
was the thing
That
we did.
we went to Slack. You got drunk and I didn't.
I forgot I had a life outside of work sometimes.
By the mall?
Yes.
Yeah, went out there. We had a friend's going away party, so
Nice.
Brandon went out and
I
partied
bought
away.
you 2 beers.
I got 2. Well, I got technically 3 beers, but then you got like 4 beers, a mixed drink, and something with Everclear in it.
That was the mixed drink, and it was only because Lauren couldn't take it.
Ah!
Because just like Jared, she's a woman.
No
like
dangly
Jared.
parts.
With dangly parts?
No dangly
Oh,
parts.
okay. I was like, wait, time out.
Besides it's beer.
I just realized that sentence came off as sexist. I was kidding though.
A little bit. What's cool? I made a really fucked up joke, and so did you, so we're all good.
Y'all need to hurry up and make something fucked up. So
Well, the night's still young.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
he
He's
could
talking
end
about
up
you.
calling somebody a haberdasher out of anger.
He's sitting here talking about the night being young. I think that's pretty already fucked up already. All right, how young is too young? You son of a bitch.
No comment.
She was only 16.
Michael Caine.
Okay, says she's only 16.
I hope that picks up as well on the mic as it sounds right here.
Right here, my ear hole.
Oh man, have y'all seen those microphones that are like those silicone ears? They use them for freaking what is that video type? It's
Mice?
No. ASMR videos on YouTube. Such a weird thing, but the silicone, it looks creepy, and people are just like
Oh no, I
And,
hate
like,
that.
I know, it's horrible.
Oh,
I can't stand that stuff. Samuel Tyler, love that shit.
Wait,
Y'all are weird.
Are those the ones where they eat like right up to your?
Yeah, they'll do like weird stuff. Like they'll just like crumple up paper.
Oh, okay. So
or-
I understand the purpose of it because like for some people it has like some kind of weird effect.
Yeah, it's like an autosensory, and it feels like there's whooshing down their spine,
Yeah,
but it's like micro versions of it.
I never got that, like, because I had tried listening to some of those. It
I just
wasn't
get
off
angry.
of YouTube.
It's like, look at you with your mouth closed.
And it's just super agitated.
I just sit there as like, oh, I'd just rather listen to Iggy Azalea.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And we all like listen to. Not gonna go there. Not gonna do it. Never mind. Let's just gloss over that. I know that
Well, I
Brandon.
mean, she looks like one of the Wayans brothers in White Girls.
Someone says she looked like Doug Funny.
Oh my god, that is a great comparison.
If she went like for Halloween as Quail Man.
Oh my god, I would lose it.
Amazing.
Seriously, all she would need is someone dressed like Skeeter.
Scooter.
Scoot. Oh, dude, and then you get their neighbors like, hey there, Douglas. You remember that?
That was really good. He's
I don't
like
even
the
remember
purple
that.
guy who was
purple
probably
guy.
strangled.
Right? He's like, hey Douglas, you want to come down to my basement?
That was a very great like attempt at haberdashery on their part.
Dude, he probably murders kids, and they're all lined up in his freezer.
Fun fact about Doug, other than it was cool and part of our childhood. I'm sure all of us, right? What are you guys? How old are you?
I'm 30 years old.
I'm 24.
So yeah, I mean,
I'm
you're
the second
29.
oldest.
I'm about to be 28.
How old are you, Justin?
29.
He just turned 29 like a week ago.
What? Yep.
Nice.
I'm
But-
getting
A
old.
week ago.
Fun fact.
Fucking happy
Have a
birthday.
have a beloved birthday.
Was that? He's saying Marlon Brando, but it sounds like he's saying Mabaraba.
I'm actually saying, no, it's terrible.
He hates San Antonio. But funny thing about Doug is Billy West voiced Roger. You know that?
Wow, I did
Well,
not
if you
know
listen,
that.
if you think about it, he's like, "Well, who can read that chicken scratch anyway?" Remember that episode?
That
he
was
stole
pretty
the diary.
good.
That was actually really good. Yeah.
What?
Billy West is amazing.
Dude,
He's-
Billy West can do anything. Plus,
He's
play
definitely in my
bass in a band.
top 5 favorite voice actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually heard a podcast coincidentally with him being interviewed. It's fucking
Was
amazing,
the
man.
He probably did all of his voices.
Dude, he
and
was
stuff.
just going off on just every voice that you could think
Oh
of.
my
Yeah.
god.
Mark Hamill did something like that.
It was
recently,
actually
too.
him.
It was so good.
It was him and this guy named
John DiMaggio?
John DiMaggio.
I was
right.
like Joe Biden.
No.
Marcus Phoenix. He's Bender.
Bender
Oh,
from
dude,
Futurama.
yeah.
my God.
And they were both going back and forth. It was awesome.
Dude,
It's
okay.
just so good.
So the best role John DiMaggio's ever had, don't know if you guys know this, was in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He played a police officer.
Really?
Yeah,
didn't know
he
that.
was actually at. I think he was a police officer or was like a security guard. But you remember the episode when they bought the boat? It was a really shitty boat.
Yeah.
He was actually
Wasn't
on.
that when she's like throwing everything out the window and Charlie keeps bringing it back up? He's like, "There's all this treasure down there." She's like, "That's trash." I'm
I'm throwing it. I was like, I don't know. It's treasure. No, well, he's the guy who's like, "Is this your boat?" It's like, "Yeah, it's a boat." It's like, "You gotta get out of here." Blah blah blah. The big redhead.
That was him.
him.
Wow.
That was him. Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
He doesn't look. You know what? When you listen to Mark and
Phoenix.
Mark and Phoenix, they're two different people, and they got two different jobs.
Oh, Mark and Phoenix.
it's just it's when he's like Tom.
God damn it, Tom! And then
He's really good.
I learned from him. Yeah, you gotta put a pencil in your mouth right here.
Yeah.
So when you get next to the microphone, you can talk sibilance.
You don't get the what they call peep pop,
beep pop.
which is also what I call grandpa. Peep pop. If y'all haven't seen it on Netflix, it's called I Know That Voice. I think it was.
Yeah.
It should still. Yeah,
Yeah, I've
it's
seen it.
great. It has so
Such a-
many.
I think there's another documentary like that on Netflix actually. So it's just going through all these different voice actors, like the dude that does Porky Pig.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Dude, seriously, that guy is like, well, see, you guys say the same word 3-4 times and do it this over. And it's like, I don't know how these guys don't get lost in that voice.
I don't know.
They put all this work. It's like, it's like,
Yeah.
that's how he starts talking for the rest of his life.
And
People try to
Billy
hand
West
him
can
ribbon
do
and
so
shit.
many of the like he knew Porky Pig and
Okay,
Bugs. He does
but-
Bugs Bunny and Space Jam.
He can do all these voices, but let's also keep in mind that a bunch of his voices too kind of sound the same.
Well,
but
yeah,
every time
but-
I hear him talk, I always hear Fry.
Yeah, well, I hear either Fry or the Red M&M.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, he does do that.
He does do the Ren and
That's true.
He also Ren and Stimpy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, did y'all hear that they're going to be doing a big collab MASH movie of Ren and Stimpy, Angry Beavers, Rocco's Modern Life?
As long as Rocco's Modern Life.
Time out. So they're gonna put all these together.
Yeah, it's going to be one big, like, 90s clusterfuck movie.
Dude, okay, they didn't
What?
use any part of the same art.
Doesn't matter.
And listen to me.
And I just want it to be
Why are you shitting on it already?
either ultra violent or, like, disgusting.
Well, I'm just saying, because, like, first of all, the first time I hear that, hey, right? The first time I hear that from Rocco, hey, Heffa. Hey, Heffa. How you doing?
Oh, that's
Right? Ooh! I can't do it. I yelled right in the microphone.
That was a hoot.
Ooh, that was a hoot.
That was a hoot.
And then
Hey, what you doing, my husband? Oh, the frogs. The frogs.
he's like, God damn it,
Mr.
bitch.
and Mrs. Big Head.
Yeah.
Rocco, come and help me, darling.
Bev Big Head, and I can't remember the
Ed Big Head.
Ed and
Ed.
Bev
It's like-
Big Head.
Ooh, Rocco. I can't. That sounds like an angry, like, Pennsylvanian parent trying to keep kids from dancing. Get out of my swamp. I don't know why I'd say that. Anyway, so I am done with my side.
Justin failed geography.
Swamps are indigenous to Alaska.
Indigenous?
The wet dry lands of southern Sri Lanka. That's where you'll find. That's actually where Joe Biden stays. I know I made a Joe Biden joke already, but I just want to make another one because he doesn't know where he's at anyway.
You're just buying your time right now.
I'm just Joe Biden my time.
Nice.
Obama.
What is this movie called, you said? Do you know?
I don't think it has a working title just yet, but it was an article that I hate them so much, but Kotaku posted it.
Oh, dude. See, okay, so that's probably. I think what you actually read was. Did you see parentheses? This is what I saw in a fever dream.
No, it looked pretty legit. Kotaku has it's hit or miss, but usually a miss. But that case it looked pretty legit.
I say, like, really think the best thing about Kotaku is the fact that you can go on there and. You know, most of us are used to being lied to by the media.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to Kotaku, you're like, you know, it's not that bad. The fact they're
I'm gonna wait for Polygon to post the report, and I'll be like, okay, it's a little bit more credible.
It's a little more legit now.
right. Even
Then you
though,
see it on Breitbart, you're like, fuck this.
even though like half the shit you see on fucking Polygon, you can find scribbled on the men's wall
Oh,
anyway.
it's gonna be a BuzzFeed like exclusive.
Click next to see all the characters that'll be in there, and at the fucking last one.
Top
is-
10 90s characters that you always wanted to see in one big movie.
That's
Watch
right,
it here
Stu.
at BuzzFeed.
We at BuzzFeed would like to remind you that we get you.
25 reasons you know you live in Texas. It's like
It's like, well, you're in Texas geographically.
And
second reason. Look out the fucking window.
there's lots of them Mexicans.
Fucking squirrels and Mexicans.
Are you from West Texas?
No, well, kinda, I guess, yeah.
Oh, that's why.
He grew up.
It's okay. I'm Hispanic. The Hispanic. I'm Hispanic.
Dominican Hispanic.
Yeah, well, your kind is welcome out here.
Oh well, that's just nasty, everybody, boy.
So I think our hopes of that, because I pulled up the article here about that 90s Nickelodeon cartoons like conglomeration. I think our hopes of it being like a raunchy Ren and Stimpy like dirt fest. It probably won't happen since there's gonna be characters from Rugrats in it too, and that would kind of send
Dude, no, listen, listen.
wrong
though.
messages.
Real quick though.
Unless it's like the old Rugrats.
I was gonna say, fucking Tommy Pickles doing lines in a men's bathroom.
they're in college. Chucky died from getting stung by bees.
Fucking,
in My
this
Girl.
is cousin My Girl. He's fucking hanging out with Angelica, and she's like, "Wake up!" And it's like, "Oh, Chucky can't because he's fucking dead." And your dad's, you know,
Lost
fucking-
all sense of his life making pudding at 3 a.m. in the morning. What are you doing? I don't know. Anyway.
By the way, real quick, I want to. I read this thing online because everyone. First of all, everyone's heard the Rugrat theory, right?
Yes.
About how Angelica was really just imagining all the babies.
Yeah, I've read that.
So I read this other theory, not about Rugrats, but one of my coworkers was talking about to go watching Grease live on TV.
Are you talking about the coma theory?
I am talking
Or
about okay,
drowning
so
theory?
Have you guys heard the drowning theory about Grease? You guys have seen the movie Grease, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Okay.
the most part.
So in the movie, Danny runs up and is like, "Oh," and pulls her out of the water.
He's like, hey, a drowning girl.
It's like, "Oh my god!" And he pulls her out of the water, and he's like, "Hey, check out my car. It goes fast and shit." Right? Grease lightning. Anyway, so he saves her, and they live happily ever after, and they fly off in a car, and everyone's happy. It progressively gets crazier, but you're like, okay, I'll dig it. It's the fucking 70s, right? Actually, 80s,
It's like the
technically.
50s.
Yeah, that's the 50s.
Well, it's set in the 50s, but it's like a 70s.
Oh, yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
See, I'm just saying, like, in the 80s, 70s, you can just expect anything. The timeline
So
of the
it
movie
was-
doesn't care. Doesn't matter.
The movie was made in the 70s, took place in the 50s, and all the actors were in their 20s. Are we clear?
Yes.
Possibly
And you can
40s.
also...
Possibly, yes, some of them were.
Most of them were, like, ripping fucking cocaine.
Cocaine.
Cocaine. I was trying to do the song. If you burn,
Cocaine.
burn.
Johnny
If
Cash.
you want to get high, and you get a lot of
Eric Clapton,
cocaine.
everybody.
You're talking about clapping, right? Eric clapping?
You've lost your mind.
A little bit. So, no, the theory goes like this. Danny, and her name was what? Fuck, what was her name?
I don't know. Sally?
It was like Stacy or some shit. Pick a 1950s name. Oh, Darla?
Gertrude.
Gertrude. Well, I forgot. I had the name there and I lost it. It's fine. Anyway, she drowns in the water. She's drowning, and Danny's like, "I'm gonna save you." But in the movie, he saves her. They date in high school. Things get progressively crazy, and they fly off in a car at the end of the movie. In the theory, it states that she's drowning, and while she's drowning, she starts slowly slipping into a coma. And in this coma, he saves her, and they go to high school. And as she's slowly dying due to lack of oxygen, this things start getting crazier. And then when they fly off in the car, that's her dying.
Sloan Kettering was her name.
Sloan Kettering, that's it, and Johnny Hopkins. And they were lighting
Blazing
that
this shit up every day after school.
That's you. Thank you, man. See, I couldn't survive without knowing that. And it's gonna come back to me later on.
I've
I
never
really
heard
like-
that theory.
It's a pretty good one.
I just read it
I like-
online the other day.
I like reading all these theories about the shows. You
Like
know,
The Tick, that one's based off of a fever dream of a little kid.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
The Tick?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Fucking love it. Hey, Peter. Hey, Peter.
Hey,
Real
Peter.
quick,
Peter.
he was the original Tick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Patrick Warburton.
Yeah,
he
he
was
did
like,
the-
"Yeah, I'm gonna go save that child over there."
You know what's really funny? You guys have seen
It's a
Ted
good
2.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'll get a high five.
Yeah, that was really good, dude.
In Ted 2, like that's what I was saying. Is like I could have sworn I've seen him in that suit before, but that's because he played the Tick. See, I can't do it, dude.
It's all right.
He-
You have
he
Billy
did-
Crystal. I
He
got
also
Patrick
he also did the voice of the animation, the cartoon, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
As well. Yeah.
You talking about Family Guy? No, I
No.
was kidding. I was kidding.
I'm pretty sure
very
it was.
close.
I'm pretty sure it was
Brandon,
him.
they actually asked him, "Hey, will you play the voice of this guy in a video game?" And he's like, "Yeah, who is it?" It's like Patrick Warburton. And he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "I'm sorry, Patrick Warburton's mole." So you were gonna play the voice of Patrick Warburton's mole.
I was.
Yeah, I'm just making shit up because
Oh.
I'm flying high on coffee and energy. drinks.
I'm pretty sure you're banned from Valero now.
I might be. Dude, the other day, I left my wallet in the car and I had 5... Don't fucking do this to me, Brandon. Distract me.
I'm telling him.
He's telling me to bring it down, but I want to bring it up. I brought up the fact that you're bringing it down. No, I had a $5 in my pocket.
Can't
And
even be mad at that one.
I go inside and I grab a Nos and a Red Bull for me and...
You got the new Nas CD?
yeah, it's called Drink Me. Drink It Up.
Sounds erotic, and I don't.
It really does, right? And it actually fits in with Nas's motif, I believe. Of course, he could have done Drink It Up. It's just a tribute to Kiss's Lick It Up, which does not sound the same at all. But he does have Gene Simmons on the album. He fucking does. Don't look at me like that. Anyway,
We're waiting for you to finish your
you're
story.
sitting here looking at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, had $5 in my pocket. Went to go pick up a Nas and a Red Bull.
They were in your wallet.
They were in my pocket because I told you wallet was in the car. See, if you listened to the stories, this would have been avoided. Anyway, so I go in there and buy the Nos and the Red Bull. Only had $5. Chick gave me both of them, and she's like, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it."
She
So
thought
I
you
was
were
like,
cute, right?
"No, she didn't think I was cute."
You need to take like dating advice from Quentin. Because this is a guy that every time we went to a gas station, he'd be like, she was totally checking me out. And it was like, no, she was looking at you because you were paying for something. Of course, she's not just going to like look down and like, oh, you can be paid, cool, bye. I was like, just because she, I don't know.
I have a friend like that too.
It's just the way his brain works. He's just like, she's totally hitting on me, bro.
Yeah,
Like, we'd leave this.
She totally wants me, bro. I saw it, dude.
I don't know if he's ever said bruv in his life, but bruv.
Dude, you know what? That's one thing that we were actually making a lot of jokes earlier before the episode. I haven't seen a good Guy Ritchie movie in forever. Dude,
it's
seriously,
been a while.
dude, the best one. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we can say which one is the best one.
I don't know if I really. I'm not up on my Guy Ritchie films. I know what they're like, but like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah,
Right?
if I'm not mistaken, I think he might be coming out with a new one that's like him going back to like his original
Really?
form or whatever. Yeah.
Dude, that'll be cool.
So, the Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. First of all, there was one character in that movie that got me wanting to do a British accent, and that was the governor, the big bouncer dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
He did The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
He did.
I haven't watched that one.
You haven't
Yeah,
watched
I
it
haven't
yet?
seen it either.
But it's got that guy who lives in San Antonio. What's his name?
Jackie Earl Haley.
No, not Jackie Earl Haley.
Who the fuck
The Lone Ranger. What's his name?
Oh, he lives in San Antonio.
He lives in San Antonio, over in almost the Alamo Heights, almost park
Army
area.
Hammer?
Army Hammer. Yeah.
Really?
So
Not to be confused with Armand Hammer.
So he lives in an apartment over there.
Well, probably a house somewhere in Alamo Heights.
Is it blocked off?
Probably.
Let's go make him pay for that movie. I'm just kidding. Give us $10 back. I wasted money watching your shitty movie.
Johnny Depp's like, I don't care.
I wasted bandwidth on that movie.
They got their nut. They don't even care.
I shan't waste an ounce of wiener on you.
I shan't.
I shan't.
Although Army Hammer was great in Social Network.
Okay,
He
no,
was.
That is.
He was good twice.
Twice, yeah.
Get it? He was
He was a twin.
Technically, he was good 3 times.
the Winkle Vi.
Winklevi. There's 2 of us. Excuse me, there's 2 of us here. It's like Winklevoss.
And did you notice in Silicon Valley how they're really there? Did you go back and watch it again?
Which on season 1?
There's an episode where they go to a party and the real Winklevoss twins are
Oh
there.
yeah,
or
that was
whatever.
I think.
Holy cow!
That
Yeah.
was after they Pied Piper becomes a big deal because they have it at
think
the big
so.
old party.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I just finished watching season 1. By the way, season 1 is still that show. I can't. We were talking about it when we were getting coffee one day. Or I think we were just passing, and like I cannot wait for season 3 to start.
That
It
show
needs
is
to
so
start
good.
already.
I have like barely started that show. I think I'm on like episode.
I'm a
2.
new fan. I'm new to it, so I just been like kind of knocked it out the other week or whatever.
It's
so.
good. It's
Dude,
really,
it's
really
Fucking
good.
awesome, dude.
Like we when they started like 2 seasons ago in Game of Thrones, and they've stuck to that. So I'm hoping they come out again in April.
I'm hoping so. Well, I'm
think
also
they are,
hoping they come back with Brink and Ballers. And
I have not seen Brink.
Brink was really cool. It was funny.
Ballers was cool. I like Ballers.
I need to watch Ballers because I know that
It's mostly like The Rock walking around twitching his neck, you know.
right. He's like, "So turkey."
In a really nice suit.
And always in a nice suit. Like, he wakes up and he's just like in a suit that's like perfectly pressed.
You know what? What's also real cool? Let's take into consideration the fact how far The Rock has come. In a different world, if Stone Cold Steve Austin would have followed those same roles, do you think he'd be able to do a movie like Ballers?
A show?
Movie? It's on HBO. It's not television.
There you go.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be on like HBO. It'd be on like TMZ or something.
Right? It's like, "What's up, guys? I want to sign you."
That's
Right? It's like, "Don't you fucking talk back to me, boy.
Say, if you want to see me sign this contract, give me a hell yeah.
If you want to see me sign this contract, give me a hell yeah."
Did you notice that the guy, the guy that's a football player in the show, he's Denzel Washington's son?
Yeah.
So
we
it
were looking
is.
at that.
Okay, so we were watching the Golden. This was actually when we were at Lion and Rose.
Oh,
when we were
yeah,
having
yeah.
that meeting and we were playing some Super Smash.
Yeah, that's right.
And Golden Globes were on, even though the audio wasn't up. Denzel Washington was there, and that dude from. And I was like,
Yeah.
"That's the guy from Ballers." It's like, "Wait, is that Denzel Washington's son?"
Yeah, they were giving him like some kind of a lifetime achievement award.
Really?
And his whole family was up on stage.
I was
That's
saying
crazy.
his son? His son's like 20-something.
No,
years old.
Denzel.
I was like,
Well, he's
No,
good in
I
the
just wouldn't
show.
pay attention.
I like him in the show.
Yeah. He sounds just like him, too.
Now, I'm gonna be paying attention next time I watch it.
He sounds like a guy that's trying to do an impression of Denzel Washington.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Okay, all right. So you want to see?
Yeah.
Okay."
he's like, so,
Yeah,
so
pretty much, yeah.
how it goes, like, it's like,
That's
so,
right.
you see,
That's right.
I just need you to sign right here, and we'll get you. He's like, okay, all right.
My man.
You want me to sign this paper? King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
So you talk about when he flew the plane inverted? He's like, "You know what that means? It means I was upside down."
I was.
That was not right. But I love that line anyway.
Damn man, I didn't know you like to get wet. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like,
And then John
"It's angel
Goodman gives
dust."
him a bunch of drugs.
Oh, and then he gets shot.
Flight
Why
was
is it
such
Russian?
a good movie.
Avery Spears is the best Denzel
Oh
Washington.
my
Dude,
god.
I don't know. Jay
He is
Farrow
the
does
be-
really good, but
Jay
I
Farrow
think,
does a good one, but Ari Spears does a good. LL Cool J,
Yeah.
Denzel Washington, Snoop Dogg,
yeah.
Coolio.
Yeah.
Do them all.
I love when he's like, "I will love you eternally for all my life," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's
don't you ever in your life call me a liar.
Oh god. This has just become like bad impressions.
Oh, this is all this is. It's
This
just
is a
bad
bad
impression.
bad
Well, you know,
impression.
it's
I'm
nothing-
never doing another Denzel Washington
There's
again.
nothing wrong. Well, listen, we were
All
talking
due
about
respect
it.
to everybody, we've
Let's
been
talk about movies anyways.
It's-
right?
Yeah, it's just the same thing.
when we start talking about movies,
You know what?
impressions fall.
I was literally like I was 2 seconds away. I was talking to about Guy Ritchie, and I was gonna do a British accent, and I was like, let's not do that.
The only one you can do at the table tonight is
Okay.
Michael Caine.
No, what I was gonna say is like, look in Guy Ritchie's Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. You know the guy I'm talking about. I'm sure you do too. He was the big bald guy.
Oh yeah.
And the first line is like, if you fucking think that those guys are gonna come around here, and it was like after I heard the way he talked, I was like, if you fucking think, he always said "think" with the F. He's like, if you fucking think that those guys that come around here and fucking do that, it's like they don't make sense. This is what it's like to be British.
I'm honestly more familiar with Snatch than I am with.
Oh man, that is the.
I just farted.
Who do you think we are? Thieves?
Thieves?
Who do you think we are? Thieves? You like this?
Okay, so by the way, with the slight like change in your voice right there, you kind of came up a little bit more of like the eastern side of the world.
The Eastern,
Not Asian. I'm talking about of the eastern.
the Mid-Eastern part. What is that area?
The Middle East, I believe.
I think it's very dry.
The East of Middles.
It's like Middle Earth, but you know what I'm saying. Well, there are a lot of short, hairy people there.
Terrible.
It's not Italy.
Terrible. It is the cradle of civilization.
There are
It's like,
wars going
who do you
on.
think we are?
Yeah.
Thieves?
Thieves?
What do you think
Thieves?
we are? Thieves?
See what I'm saying? It's like, it sounds like he's one step away from yelling abysmal.
Abysmal?
No, it's like, I am abysmal. Which, by the way, they picked the most whitest
friend.
dude ever.
So Aladdin 2, right? Was it Aladdin 2? Or was
Elijah
it,
Boogaloo. It was Aladdin, Return of Jafar.
that's
Where
what, and it has George Costanza. What's his name?
His name was
Jason Alexander.
Jason
I
Alexander.
always confused it with Jay Alexander.
Jerry.
I'm turd.
George is getting upset.
I'm turd. It has some really good steaks.
Steaks. Are you talking about buying steaks at Macy's?
No, Jay
They're a
Alexander.
good deal. You know, it's Donald Trump. Anyway.
I thought that was Denzel Washington on you.
No, Kid Cootie.
Oh.
Couldn't see around the mic.
Woohoo. Anyway, so you were saying about Alexander
Yeah, Jason
Hamilton?
Alexander plays a B Small in the movie, which is it's just the weirdest voice to have for this.
Seriously, like you have this guy who's really short.
Great name.
A B Small, right? It's like it's a good play on words. I think. It's pretty
Well,
good.
you know, that movie was both the I don't know.
Was it the best worst?
It was the best worst of the series because okay, so everyone's like first Aladdin, hands down the best because it was freaking Robin Williams as the genie. Everyone was happy. Second comes around.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
The Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
We're thieves. Anyway, it's like I'm not a thief. I steal your heart. The second one, they had fucking Homer
Dan
Simpson.
Castellaneta.
Dan Castellaneta doing his best non-Homer Simpson impression. And then in the third one, they brought back Robin Williams. So everyone's
They
quick
didn't
to
bring
say-
him back. He agreed to go
He
back.
agreed to come back, but they brought him back because they're like,
That was weird.
you know, it's just like basically they. So you know what happened with that, right?
I imagine like there was some kind of contract agreements
Well,
that they didn't agree on.
exactly what it was is Aladdin and Disney in general. So the idea was without Robin Williams getting paid, Disney can only use I think it was 60% of the genie's image, or like 20%. They can only use
basically
so much.
they were using so much of like his voice and the genie's likeness in advertising and promotional stuff, and toys and whatnot.
And not
that,
paying
that
him
was,
the agreed amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was convinced that that they did it. They obviously didn't tell him they were going to do
The
it.
contract was voided in his eyes, so he got his lawyers involved and he was done. So he walked away from the second movie, said, "I'm not going to do this if you guys keep doing this." Disney, pretty much Aladdin at the time because it was a huge movie, was like, "Okay, guys, look, let's get together because Robin's going to fucking walk and do Jumanji," and he's, and then they're like, "Well, it's not such a bad thing. It was a good movie, right?" And it's like, "You don't know that. This is the future." Because anyways,
What year is it?
This is not a conversation that happened.
you don't know that. It's fucking Disney. They've seen the future. They've ridden the moonworm. Okay,
It's like if we don't take lessons from the future, we're doomed to repeat them for the first time.
right? It's like we're not touching that joke. I was going to go somewhere.
And that's where we get into the paradox, huh?
There we go. We got a Mickey
there's
Mouse
Mickey.
talking
Yeah.
about science and That's a horrible fucking
It was
gorge.
It started off like good enough, I think.
It's just, you know what?
That's
we
bad when the accent like fades out midway through the
But
accent.
we can actually, the reason I'm doing it is because we can only use at least 50% of sound likeness of Goofy before we get fired,
yeah.
and also internally wounded.
Can I say gorsh?
Gorge.
All right,
By the
so
way-
actually, can I ask you guys a question since like we're talking about movies and all that stuff? So what is like some of your favorite movies? Like, both of you?
Oh,
Like,
dude.
what's kind of like your taste, or what do you guys
You know
like?
what? I like my movies like I like my women. Fast, frantic, and trying to kill me. No,
So Taken.
so take it. Yeah. No, dude. You know what? I don't know. Like, I really, really, really have an unhealthy addiction to like military movies. Dude.
Military
Black
like
Hawk
war
Down.
movies are great.
Okay.
I heard 13 Hours, by the way, is really, really good.
Well, yeah. You know who wasn't good for?
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. But she didn't care. She
13
still
hours.
anyway.
Yeah,
13 hours. What's that?
It's about Benghazi.
Oh, okay.
Like the 13 hours that Hillary Clinton was asleep,
Oh.
and they were trying to call her. They're like, pick up the phone.
And she's like,
No way, this is a real movie.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
real movie, and it's starring John Krasinski,
As
of
Hillary
all
Clinton.
people.
Oh, wow.
No.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Yeah, like,
Dude,
yeah.
that
From
one
The
came out of
Office.
nowhere. You know, I thought that was Zachary Levi. Every time I saw him, until I saw an up close picture, I'm like, that's fucking John Krasinski. Why is The Office here
Fucking
shooting?
Well, because I think wasn't John Krasinski also in that movie Aloha, that one with
the terrible
Oh,
movie.
yeah, with the one with
We're
Cooper.
Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
that
he was
was-
in that, and apparently he had like bulked up a little bit for that movie. 'Cause he's kind of just like the scrawny, awkward guy that really has no business being in action movies of any kind. But he was supposed to be like this. I think he was in the military in the movie, so he had to bulk up a bit. And I guess he was like, all right, well, while I'm at it, they cast him in a movie where he's also.
Did you know that he was in the running to be Captain America before they picked Chris
Yes,
Evans?
I didn't know that.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
John Krasinski, Jim from The Office, man.
You had to think like
That
there's
is weird.
a bunch of people could have been in that role, and you want to think how would they have changed that? Because
I was
mean,
pulling for Steve Buscemi.
right?
He's Captain America.
that one fucking tooth of his that's all bigger than everything else in his mouth.
It's fucking gigantic. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
eyes.
mostly people mention his eyes. Justin's like, nope, straight for the teeth.
Yeah.
Well, because he's always like,
He's just fucked up all around.
dude, and I mean,
God bless Steve Buscemi.
he is like one of the
He's a
funniest
great
people out
actor.
there. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he looks so
Unconventional.
unconventional.
And in one of my favorite movies of all time, Reservoir Dogs, by the way.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
for sure.
And Fargo.
Him and we were actually we were jumping a lot. This happens when you talk about movies. You're gonna jump around a lot. So
We're still talking about favorite movies.
deal with it. Yeah. No. Well, I was another favorite movie was just anything by Quentin Tarantino. I don't
Yep.
want to sound
There you go.
shitty, but it's just like Michael Madsen is in every single one of his movies, and that's because Michael Madsen knows. Well, I
It's
wanna
his
say-
Rob Schneider, right?
It's his Rob Schneider.
Well,
He's
that
gonna take
is-
him everywhere.
It's the fact that Tarantino just like writes these movies for these people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
I-
then you look at it, it's like the next Tarantino movie, Michael Madsen's a psychopath. It's like he's always a psychopath.
I do like how Quentin
He's
Tarantino
great,
does
though.
that.
Yeah. And what's cool about the Hateful Eight is if you look at the cast, it's pretty much like the Tarantino All Stars.
Oh, dude, for sure.
Sam Jackson, fucking Kurt Russell's are in one of his movies before. They're all just kind of coming together for one movie.
Well, and that was the without spoiling a whole lot of shit for Brandon. I don't want to spoil anything.
I'll see it.
The movie Hateful Eight is so damn long. If anyone's haven't seen it yet, go watch it. 3 hours, about 3 hours long.
Almost 3 hours.
And
Almost.
a
It was
good
like
45
2
minutes.
It was like 2 hours and 47 minutes. And
I
like
went to,
52
uh,
seconds or something.
I went to the screening where they had
The
actually an
70
intermission.
millimeter?
Yeah, I went to the 70 millimeter
Dude.
Oh
screening.
man, that's so cool.
And they had an overture before the movie started, which was basically like they played like this ominous music before the movie started, and there was this really cool image on the screen. And then there was an intermission in between the movie. And I guess with that, it did go over 3 hours a little bit, but
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Worth it.
I want to
Yeah.
do that.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah.
Oh
experience.
man, actually speaking of Tarantino and Disney, the freaking stink that Tarantino has with Disney now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because
Like
of
hardcore.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
He's like, they did it on purpose, okay? They went over there and did it on because they wanted that theater, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I'm torn on that because I'm such a huge fan of both.
Yeah.
I
Tarantino
honestly,
and Star Wars,
I
man.
think Tarantino's like, he is in the right technically.
Mhm.
He does complain a little bit about it, but I mean, I would too.
a little bit.
A little bit. It was on a podcast.
That's like, I was just saying, it's like,
That's how you know it's official.
dude,
It's like
would-
Facebook.
He was basically running down the street of the internet saying, "Who's gonna listen to me? Someone listen to the social injustice going on." But the thing is like, okay, we have already established that Quentin Tarantino he's a visionary. I mean, he makes amazing
Oh
movies.
man, he's amazing.
People, if you're not doing it right, people will not boycott your movies.
Exactly.
So people will boycott his movies, and in some cases, they're not going to win anything, but they get their point across. But those movies are always great.
Yeah.
Case in point, Django. I don't care what anyone says. That was a fantastic movie.
I
Amazing.
think I watched that movie around 60 times.
Dude,
At
So
least.
I
good.
watch it. It's such a great
You can say this about Tarantino.
spaghetti western.
The worst Tarantino movie is better than most regular movies.
Dude,
That's
seriously.
very true.
You know?
Like I watched Kill Bill again recently, and it was amazing. I still love that movie.
I
It's
love
just,
that
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, there was actually, we had a conversation about like what one of his next movies would be, since the I'm only gonna make 10 thing, and just people keep asking him about it.
Yeah.
And the Kill Bill bit when it's the animated scene.
Yeah.
I would like to see him do a full length animated.
Yeah, a lot of people
That-
have been
yeah.
wanting that, yeah.
I hope that he doesn't end up doing if he does the play for 8 Late, like they're saying it's going to be turned into. I
Yeah.
hope he doesn't count that as one of his movies.
I don't
No,
think so.
definitely not. That's like a side project.
That better be you know what? It better be better than Spider-Man the musical.
Oh man.
I want to see him do like a full-on horror movie, just
Dude,
scary as
you know
fuck.
what?
You
He
know what I
needs to
mean?
get together with what's his face, Eli Roth again. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing: Eli Roth is good as far as gore goes.
Yes.
He's the king of you know.
He's got a good grasp on what's gonna make you kind of cringe.
Well, I watched Green Inferno, and
I haven't seen that. Is that?
Don't waste your time.
No,
Because okay, so here's the thing. I was really scared to go watch it. You can ask Pete. He was like, "Go watch it, man. Don't be a pussy." And I was like, "Dude, it looks scary." I said it could make me vomit. But I watched the movie somewhere, and
and it did make you vomit.
no, dude, like it made me vomit out of pure anger.
Yeah, it was so bad.
I'm so fucking pissed. No,
Nathan explosion, this vomiting blood. Just
oh, blood vomit. Good song title.
Good song title.
So I watched Green Inferno, and the only thing that was good about it were some of the death scenes. The story was bullshit. The fact that it's like, oh look, some Pan American group of people who's never seen us before, they are trying to kill us because we encroached on their land. The hardest scene to watch was the eye popping scene, which if you guys get a chance
That'll
to-
always get me though in
Yeah,
movies.
with the fucking-
Anything with eyes or nails.
Oh man, I'm so desensitized to gore. Thanks 4chan.
No.
right? It's like, look at this kid. There's a bus.
I think the last scary movie I saw, I don't even remember the name of it. It's like about this couple in like Australia, and they go to this like remote
Jabberwocky.
beach.
The Babadook.
The Jabberwocky. It's the Babadook.
It's the Babadook.
I was thinking the Chapperwappy, the one that we made.
Oh yeah, there's the Babadook, and then there's the Chappawappy. See, here the Babadook lives in the cornfields, and it kills the kangaroos, and it gets sad. The Chappawappy's in the water, right out there in the middle of the lake.
Water.
So you're out in the bush, and you see the kids in the water swimming around. You got to run up and get out of the water. The Chappawappy's coming, and it's like
It's gonna be so loud.
that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be loud, but the life is loud sometimes.
Well, you just gotta feel it. You gotta feel it in your soul.
And you can start doing
Say water again. That was great.
water. Get out of the water.
Get out of the water.
I can do a really good impression of what's his face, Mel Gibson too. I hate Jews.
That's perfect. Actually.
Right, sounds
Great.
down to the last detail.
Get the gringo.
Get the Gringo, dude. By the way, have you guys seen Get the Gringo?
I have not. Actually.
I have not seen that. No.
Watch
It's actually
it.
pretty
It's-
good.
Yeah.
They,
I gotta sit.
it's a really immersive movie in the fact that they have him as a gringo.
What?
Which, what? He's
Spoiler
white.
alert.
Thanks, I don't want to watch the movie anymore. He gets arrested and goes to Mexican prison, which is different than American prison because it's in Mexico. So yeah, of course, there's Mexicans, and it's
Shout out
kind
to
of
El
like,
Chapo.
and these people have like their families there and shit, right? Oh, did I totally get that? It's funny. So they have their families there, and he's walking around. People are talking to him in Spanish. He doesn't understand anything. There's no subtitles. So if you don't understand Spanish, you're fucked.
Right.
You don't understand Spanish enough unless they say stuff like pelotas or pinche cabrón, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I say pelotas because you know baseballs.
Or a la chingada pinche poto.
Yeah.
Cabrón.
Mira!
Stuff like chingada madre. But anyway, so he slowly starts picking up more Spanish and then starts showing bits of subtitles. But eventually, he learns complete Spanish and it shows subtitles. So it's really neat how they do that.
Oh, that's cool.
That's an interesting one.
It was, unless of course we just had a really bad copy of DVD. But I don't think
Yes,
it's
a
fucking that bad.
DVD.
So, Brendan, what kind of movies do you like, or what are you into?
Porn with men.
Same.
Or samesies. We're movie twins. I mean, really, I like a little bit of everything in terms of like genre-wise, except I don't watch a whole lot of like thrillers or horror movies.
Okay.
It's just for whatever reason I don't feel any joy from like exhilaration or fear like when I'm watching a movie. Like I don't understand the allure.
Yeah.
But that's not to say I haven't seen some cool horror movies and stuff.
It's
before.
really hard to find a good horror movie nowadays, man.
Maybe I'm too picky on horror movies. Like I got burnt out on Saw, like everyone I'm sure has.
I saw a good one actually this past year. You should look out for it. It's called It Follows.
I heard so much about that one. I've been wanting to see it.
It's just got a really neat concept.
Yeah, the trailer, like we watched like the Red Band trailer for it. It looked incredible. It was eerie. It had good music.
Yeah,
like the cinematography looked pretty cool.
The only thing is the ending is a little like divisive or whatever.
Really?
You know, but yeah, I mean, other than that, the movie's pretty awesome.
I think the last horror-ish movie, maybe thriller would be or a suspense movie was You're Next.
Okay, yeah, that's
that one was really
cool.
I like
and
that
again,
one.
it was because of the movie, because of the music, because of the lighting, and the story was pretty cool too, and like kind of had a really surprise ending as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think the movie has to be a special kind of movie to not have music. If it's a movie like I was talking about, like military shooters, I don't think there's a couple spots in like Black Hawk Down when they have music.
It's
But
more
for the most
orchestral.
Part, it's more orchestral, but that's mostly like when you see helicopters flying, people listen to fucking Creedence Clearwater. But like when they actually get into the shit, if you want to call it that, the music is gunfire. So all you hear is just this fighting back and forth. So it's kind of cool how they do it that way. But yeah, no, seriously, Your Next was fucking amazing with the music.
I do like war movies, like Justin was saying too. Like they're.
So greatest war movie of all time. What's that?
Windtalkers. I'm just kidding.
You guys have Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. I mean, everyone. I think a lot of people would agree that Saving Private Ryan is probably the best one.
Right.
I think because it has it all, and it has great acting. It has.
I agree that it's a great movie. My personal favorite though is Apocalypse Now. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
I've seen.
Great movie.
I've seen most of it. I haven't actually been able to watch it all the way through. Apocalypse Now to me,
It's a really dark psychological.
Is Top Gun a war movie?
only when they're playing volleyball.
I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
he like flies against a MiG, and those are Russian.
That's true.
Dude, those Russians like eat like nothing but potatoes and like vodka.
Hey, Chiki Brokovi.
Well, I'm saying like здравствуйте, Syutka.
What is a Bronco fight? It's a fucking Naruto.
Okay, so first of all, he knows Russian.
No, I don't. That was all gibberish.
What a fuck! He got me going.
I thought you activated him or something.
He gets up and
Russian
walks
spy.
through the door.
Sleeper cell over
Well,
there.
no, what's called Saving Private Ryan was great.
I just love Tom Hanks though. Like I love a lot of movies Tom Hanks is in.
Yeah,
Well, Tom
he's a
Hanks-
really good actor, but he's like a horrible like person to interact with in real life.
Really?
He's such a Warranted. Everybody always goes up to him. He's like, "Oh my God, you're Tom Hanks."
And then he just goes, "Oh my God, you're Chevy."
Oh my god, it's so gross.
He's just like, "Leave me the fuck alone."
guys.
Maybe you should go back home to Greenbow, Alabama.
No, well, I mean that was a good movie, and also partly because Vin Diesel dies, and it's like, well,
Is that all you want to
I
see?
actually did not know Vin Diesel was in that movie until like maybe the third Fast and Furious movie. Somebody was like, "Did you know he was in Saving Private Ryan?" I was like,
Right,
"You're
'cause-
just an idiot." Right? And then I watch it, I'm like, "Oh man."
All he does is race cars and live his life a quarter mile at a time.
well, and, I mean the best part is that bullet went flying through his body. Fast and Furious, and the guy was less than a quarter mile away, so he had all the same elements in each movie he's been in so far.
Just
No.
flung his spirit into another movie.
I also
Flung
liked.
his spirit.
Speaking of war
Just
movies, I also
imagine
liked
that.
Enemy at the Gates.
Okay.
Oh my
That's a
god,
good one.
dude. Okay, so I was actually watching that movie recently, and I ended it at the right time. You remember when his friend they're waiting for the sniper, and he's like, "Let me show you where he is," and he puts his head up like that, and the sniper shoots him right in the fucking forehead,
Right.
and blows his head off. And right when I had to turn it off because a manager was coming, I saw it just showed the blood fly out the back of his head. I'm like, no, that made me sad.
I just
I
got
was
sad when
like-
Ron Perlman died.
That's the Russian, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Russians and stuff like that. Yeah.
By
And
the
like,
way-
like the beginning, like the battle, like when they're like, okay, you're gonna hold the gun, you're gonna hold the magazine. It's like if he dies, you pick up the gun, you keep shooting. It's Like, we can't even afford.
That was intense.
That was Stalingrad, right?
Yeah, that was Stalingrad. It was they lined him up and it was like, here's your gun. When somebody dies, or here's your clip. Somebody dies, pick up their gun.
Yeah.
It's like war.
You know, the hardest part about that to watch though wasn't necessarily the people getting murdered like ruthlessly by what's his face?
Ed Harris.
No, Jude Law. I mean, he was just like, all right,
He was like picking.
there's a guy with a helmet. Better shoot him.
Yeah.
Right? There's a guy taking a shower. He's gonna fucking die. And
It's all true story too, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
Using
they
the
saw-
explosions to hide his shots and stuff.
which they actually used in Sniper Elite, the video game. They used that whole mechanic.
Yeah.
Which it didn't work very well at all until Sniper V3, and then it actually didn't work either. It worked a little bit better though. That's all that matters though.
That's where he also hides, like, among the bodies, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
in the beginning. I think that they mimicked that in one of the Call of Duty games.
Yeah,
Where
they
you're,
did.
like, hiding amongst, like, the bodies. Or
they also
whatever.
did in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Dude, they do
Really?
it every
Yeah,
single
in
game.
Phantom
where-
Pain, like, there's this part when they come in, they, like, shoot all these, like, guys in the hospital, and then, like, you're laying on the ground, and, like, I think you even pee on the ground, because...
Oh, it's his knee. Well, it was pee, but it was his. He got lucky because they looked at it and they saw the because another body had its knee on like what the fuck IV bag and it started leaking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh.
Yeah.
I can't stop peeing. It's like,
Otacon. No, this is...
oh, wait, this doesn't happen with you.
just sounds...
Crap battle.
The Saving Private Ryan is an amazing movie.
Dude,
Classic.
Matt Damon, and I was actually watching a video, Video Mojo, you know, the countdowns and stuff.
Right.
And they brought it to light that really was one of the, in that time frame, and still is today, one of the most unique acting scenes ever, where he goes from like super happy and laughing to crying, and that wasn't all scripted. It was, that whole scene was ad-libbed, where he was talking about going into the barn with his brothers and doing this stuff,
Right.
and he's all laughing, having a good time, saying they got this and that, and all of a sudden starts crying, and you think about how it wasn't scripted, and it's like, that's why he's a fucking good actor.
That's when him and Tom Hanks are having that little, like, one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes and does Elysium, and you're like, well, you had a good run.
Man, I actually,
but
I
no,
quite
I was
enjoy.
going to say, Elysium was good.
It was alright.
Just when, what's his face, the fucking prawns.
Oh,
He gets
the
his face
South
blown
African
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Who's in all of that guy's movies, yeah.
Charlton Copley or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of Chappie,
Amazing movie.
Yeah.
Justin won't watch it.
I won't
Why?
watch it
Yeah,
because
I
of
did.
fucking Die Artwood or Antwood.
You don't like Diane Ward? Man.
He's crazy.
So bad.
I can see why you don't like them, though.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
honestly.
They're weird
They're
as fuck.
weird. Zeph style, man. That country is like, it's like
Wait, is the
different
country's
world.
called Zeph style?
No,
No,
it's,
no,
it's
it's
kind of
like
like
their- their hip hop, their version of like our
Okay,
hip-hop,
I was like,
basically.
so this
It's
is
kinda
why
like-
I won't watch the movie.
It's very like anarchist, anti-establishment.
extremely, and
Yeah.
they're just like they go hard on everything.
Like in the movie, I'm pretty sure he has like a bright pink AR-15.
It's big and yellow, and he has
it's
a
big and yellow
pink
and a
clip.
pink. It's a magazine.
And then I'm sure he's talking this like, he comes up, hey, loan me a pound to know your sister.
Yeah, kind of.
It is a good movie, though.
I love Chappie. He's like Chappie paint. Chappie paint.
Yeah.
I need to see.
That director is really talented, actually.
He is.
He did District 9. It was great movie.
I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of his cinematography style
Yeah.
and how he is so into mecha.
You know that he's
Yeah.
actually he's supposed to, I think, work on a reboot of the Alien franchise.
Yes,
No
yes.
way.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm
So-
still waiting for them to reboot Predator and make it good. Not
what's
saying
wrong with Danny
not
Glover?
saying Danny Glover walking around. I'm getting too old for this shit. And like, why can't you just stay on the ground?
Want some candy?
Want some candy? And then fucking Gary Busey's like, we heard our friend has a taste for meat. You know. So
Now he's plugging Amazon
and he
Fire TV stick.
Amazon Fire. Your TV's on fire. Anyway, so
Very Busey.
so
like it.
not saying that those movies weren't good. It's just that Predators and the AVP series fucked up Predators.
Yeah, for sure.
It was
Because
pretty bad.
In Predator 1 and Predator 2, that set the precedent for how deadly a predator is supposed to be.
Yeah.
One predator can kill 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And then in the other ones, I call like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but I got crushed by a puzzle. You know?
There were things about Predators that I liked.
Okay, so aside from the fact that Adrian Brody actually played for once a decent role, even though he still had Asperger's, the fact that
Are you bringing it back to the village?
I'm bringing it back to the village and the pianist. Or pianist.
The
That's actually a pretty intense like war type movie as well.
Yeah, it was. I just don't like
The
it.
penis.
Oh,
The
yeah.
pianist.
The
what?
penis? The penis. Let's just get it out. Not our penis.
But in
Whip out that piano.
okay, sad stuff. Danny Trejo died so early. Okay, and then he's like,
Oh, he's in it, right?
yeah, and then he's like, don't go over there, it's a trap. And he's like, how do you see it? He's like, I fucking see this shit in Borneo all the time.
No, he's like, because I've done it.
Yeah, it's like I'd shut kids' legs off and watch the parents go. It's like that's terrible. You fucking Black Ops guys, you're terrible. The Yakuza guy get killed in a very Yakuza kind of way. That was really neat the way they did it,
Yeah.
but the rest of the movie sucked. With the blood flew all over the grass and stuff.
They did try to mirror like the first Predator movie. I felt, like some of the same beats and structure or whatever.
They really did. They kind of said,
They did the Star Wars thing.
The
basically.
climactic thing with all the fire and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
hey, "Come on, do it."
Do it now, kill me.
Guy has a
Come
big
on.
minigun.
So
or whatever.
Yeah.
the big question is like, okay, so in his backpack he had about 15 clips of like 20 rounds on each shotgun. Granted, Lawrence Fishburne got the jump on him and tried to gas them all, but he grabbed his shotgun before he left and was able to take his stuff. So he had all these weapons. The Predator, granted they're big, that shotgun fucks shit up. An AA-12 can blow a hole through a wall, no problem. It can blow a hole through a Predator, no problem. So why didn't he just stop and like, come over here, cocksuckers, and then blow him away? But then,
Because it wouldn't have been as good of a movie.
and they let the big Russian dude die. You never let the big Russian dude die, because after they get back, there's going to be fun and hoopla everywhere.
Hoopla.
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 But I think I was talking to Pete, or I don't think it was Jared. I don't talk to Jared. But
Nobody does.
We were talking about how Topher Grace, how Topher Grace played the very unlikely but still well picked serial killer.
Yeah.
Like it was a really good idea because he just kind of had that whole.
And actually, kind of relates back to the Hateful Eight. The prisoner in Predators is the same guy from the Hateful Eight. He plays Chris Mannix in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and see, that was the thing. Like, I remember watching him back in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And he was always such a
He's in
neat
Justified,
character.
too.
He wasn't Justified.
Yeah.
And,
That's the guy who plays opposite Timothy Olyphant?
In
it is?
Justified. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, he also played next to a big ballsack in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Michael
Chiklis.
Chiklis.
Is that show good?
He also held a ball sack in Django.
He definitely
There you
did.
go.
He's like, you're lucky I'm going to cut the bullet parts
Jamie
off.
Foxx. So,
Oh, my ear. Yeah, no, the S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't terrible. The first season we watched was actually really good. The parts where I started getting not so comfortable with the show is when they dealt with the subject of criminals orally raping their sergeant, who was a dude. That was weird.
Gotcha.
And then also Michael Chiklis started going to the dark side, stealing money and
Because
stuff.
this is about crooked cops, right?
At first, it was about a cop who was going crooked but was trying to stay straight. So, and actually, you know what? If you think about it, S.H.I.E.L.D. was kind of like Breaking Bad before Breaking Bad became Breaking Bad. Sounds weird. He was trying to go by the law, and then like shit starts happening. I think his wife's trying to leave him, and he needs child
It was
support.
on FX, so probably.
It
It
was
was like
on FX.
Rescue Me,
It was like, God damn it, I had cigarettes. That's fucking, what's his face?
So we can all agree that Breaking Bad is one of the greatest shows of all
Oh,
time.
dude, for sure.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's
If,
great.
if someone's like you're wearing Breaking Bad shirts, of
Yeah,
course.
obviously. Yeah.
If someone, every time I hear someone say, I never got into Breaking Bad, I'm like, this conversation's over.
Yeah.
You
I
haven't
mean-
watched it on Netflix yet. Bye.
He made me watch the whole series, and I'm glad he did.
Yeah, I still haven't seen
Better Call Saul.
Better
I haven't
Call
seen
Saul.
it. I saw the pilot, and that was the
Yeah.
last I saw.
The second season starts soon.
the
actually.
only bit
Hoping-
that I saw was with the guy that plays Trevor in GTA 5, and what's his face like just pops him in the like throat. He's like,
I don't think I saw that.
I didn't say, the only thing I've seen was the first episode where they introduced, they kind of went back in time where he met Tuco before Tuco was a big deal in Walter White's life.
Yeah.
and it was he was getting that bodyguard guy that's in Breaking Bad.
Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yeah, he was that's the guy that like punches Trevor in the throat. He's like, why don't you have a gun? I don't need one.
He was so good in
Dude, and
Breaking
then
Bad.
it broke my heart when he died, dude.
Hey. Spoilers.
Fuck spoilers, this has been forever.
been out like for 3 years
It's on
already.
Netflix. If you haven't watched it, then
Little show called Breaking Bad.
We should really
Yeah.
change our episode, our
Maybe
show.
you've heard of it.
We should change our show call to spoiler alerts because the fact of the matter is, It's kind of like our thing. If you haven't seen it yet, it's your fault. Now, Star Wars is different. Big movies are different. If it's like just came out 2 weeks ago, that's fine.
So let's talk about Star Wars for a little bit. What did you guys think about it?
Oh man,
Great, not so great.
I mean, I wouldn't say. Shit.
I
loved it, but I wouldn't say great.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's setting up things a lot of things that are going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. You know, like once you like deconstruct it, and you, I'm sure all of us have been inundated with, you know, different pieces about how, you know, like breaking apart the movie, saying this is what makes sense, this is where it's going, here's how it was exactly the same as A New Hope, but the reason it's the same is because that was the perfect platform to jump off from in the original series.
Yeah.
That it makes sense in this one to, like, you know, copy a similar formula and hopefully.
And I think that
they take it a completely separate direction.
I think they were just so kind of intimidated from the backlash from the prequels.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everybody wanted them to just go back to that whole retro original feel that they did that in
Abrams
in
did a
space.
pretty good job.
Well,
Yeah, I thought so too.
They definitely did like a. It was a nod to the past while looking to the future. You know, I mean, it was.
I had
I loved it. I loved the movie.
Oh, yeah.
The people that just criticize it basically was like they just don't like it because of that sole reason that it does follow that same plot.
But you know, a lot of the people who said they don't like it, they also fall into the same group who were just talking needless shit about the prequels without having any kind of like valid argument.
Yep.
We all understand that midichlorians, while they sound cool, and when I was younger, I was like, hey, that makes sense. They don't fucking make sense.
No.
Because you just bring them up out of nowhere. It's like, well, what the fuck is this?
This midichlorian count is off the charts.
But he's too old. We can't trade him.
I didn't know, like, the Beatles were in there.
It's like,
The Beatles were the Jedi.
Oh, well, we are the Beatles. Your power's only as low as you can imagine.
well, you say I'm a Jedi, but I'm not the only one. Anyway, so
But nobody knows what George Harrison sounds like, so he's only a goat. He's just that's all he is. Just
why is George Harrison a goat?
because you got Ringo Starr. And then of course Lennon and freaking
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney. I don't know why that blanked out on me. They sound the same.
I was like, he's the one that's, you know, still alive and doing
he's
things?
the one that the legless bitch.
Yeah.
Well, then, but I just imagine that George Harrison's like, they come up to him and it's like, hey, what are you doing? It's like, just listen to the sound of my lightsaber.
So while my lightsaber gently weeps.
Anyway,
Yes.
so Star Wars, the Beatles. I think Star Wars was the prequels. I don't hate them. I know that everyone tells me I should hate them.
Well, there's
I don't.
cool shit sprinkled throughout the.
Yeah,
prequels,
well,
you
I
know?
mean, what movie hasn't that has been touched by George Lucas hasn't had like a pantsless fart pressed up against it with a little sprinkle of shit. What? What I'm saying is he wipes his ass on everything. This is what he does. He marks his territory. He's like, this is mine. Jar Jar Binks was just a shit.
Oh man, it was horrible.
Just a way to get kids in those seats.
In the
That's all it
second
was.
movie,
Pretty much.
Jar Jar Binks was still a shit, but then he added in something that Anakin didn't need to have, was over emotion and overacting.
I will save her.
In the third one, he added some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard a human
The
being
one we was
say.
talking about is like sand.
He's like sand is coarse and falls through your fingers, but not like you. And so,
So you're I mean, what's
You're
you're
a
the
human
opposite
being.
of course,
you're soft.
Padme.
And like,
I rewatched Attack of the Clones recently. So fucking bad, man.
dude,
Yeah,
it's
so
it's
bad.
not
Terrible.
good, but you know, I think from
They're
a
literally rolling in the grass, like giggling, like at one point. Like, both-
This is the happy moment.
yeah,
Don't
exactly.
you think him going through like dark thoughts in his head? They're rolling around. He accidentally activates his lightsaber, and then that's how he becomes Darth Vader because he just cut his own legs off, and he's so angry at the fact that I was like, oh, you know.
It could have been better executed. I think Hayden Christensen, he gets a lot of shit because one, he was terrible in that fucking movie.
Yeah.
Two, he was in Jumper.
Yeah, he was also in Jumper, which I kind of like that movie. Little undertone.
I've never seen it.
Jumper, because that power is so dope.
Yeah, it would be a badass power.
Have you ever
And then
seen
Samuel L. Jackson says, nah.
Yeah.
You can't do this.
You remember X-Men, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember what's
I'm
her
not
name?
familiar with it.
No, you should have. The little kid. What's her name? She can go through walls.
Cat?
Kitty Proud. Kitty Proud.
Kitty Proud. Kitty Proud.
Right.
Pride.
I was like Kitty Proud. I'm pretty sure
Ellen
it's Kitty Proud.
Page.
Ellen Page.
Ellen Page.
How she can run through walls? Well, picture that, but on a long distance specter, and it's still you don't care about it.
It was
Right?
just she basically just has the power to blink. You can think of something and just
Dude, that was the kind. If you think about it like that, now that sounds cool because I played too much WoW. But
See, why don't they reboot that instead of rebooting good?
I would like to see a sequel of that movie. Oh fuck! I think it's Push.
Spanish. Oh.
Push. That was actually a pretty cool movie. It's got freaking what's her face?
Oh, but
What? She's in. I Am Sam.
I thought you were Frank.
Dakota Fanning.
Oh, okay.
Dakota
Wait,
Fanning.
It's not
Wasn't it
Elle
also-
Fanning?
No.
No, wasn't Push also the one with
Yeah, it was
what's his
Dakota.
face? Captain America.
Yeah, I think that actually is him.
Yeah, see that movie. It wasn't terrible, but it was so low on my radar because
It
everything
has
else.
a really interesting premise, and the way it ended, it like left it so fucking open-ended for another one.
Well, see, I think a lot of movies like they have to do that because they don't know how it's to get accepted.
That is actually very true.
I bet you the Chipmunks movie, the new one, did that, and they still are not going to get another one because they made what, like $14 million.
See, I would have much rather seen another Push than those stupid Labyrinth Runner movies.
Oh, dude.
Okay, so I
I'm
have
the
my
Maze
own
Runner.
gripe with those kind of like there's these movies that
Can't
are
stand it.
it's like a not really post-apocalyptic, but it's like a dystopian future, right?
It's basically
Where-
like somebody walked into Half Price Books. It was like, and went to the what is it, the fucking teen
Young- it
section,
was the young
adult
adults.
section, and they're like, this is a movie.
Well,
This is
they,
a movie.
they just started after Hunger Games, right?
After
Yeah.
Twilight,
Right, so-
actually, I think.
Yeah,
I think
Twilight.
Twilight
Okay,
really like,
that's
united
fair.
it, you know.
But
I mean, I wouldn't even say Harry Potter started it because Harry Potter, they're on a whole nother level.
Yeah,
They're
that's
playing.
one of them.
Yeah.
They're playing on a whole.
That's
They're
fantasy,
Lord of the
like,
Rings
But,
Yeah.
but
popular.
also, I mean, Harry Potter kind of had a boyhood thing going on where they showed this kid
you,
grow up.
you watched
Harry
And-
Potter.
and
Daniel
also-
Radcliffe grow up.
And also, Harry Potter had a
With
talented
you.
writer actually
Yeah.
writing the
Yeah.
books and stuff. You
So
know,
with Twilight started, and Hunger Games, to its credit, I like the Hunger Games movies, and I don't care if you guys want to give me shit about it.
Fuck you, bro.
But I like the movies.
The first one was great, and then I kind of got the whole premise of the whole bit from that one movie, and I was like, I got it.
The first one was good. The second one was pretty good, but we haven't seen any of the Mockingjay, like 1 or 2. So I haven't seen that yet. Even though it's been on Hulu for like 3 months.
You know what?
But they've started like just shitting out like Maze Runner, The Giver,
Divergent.
Insurgent,
Insurgent.
Yeah.
You know, the problem
Then
is...
they're gonna have jihadists,
Right? The problem is they have all these movies that focus on... It's like, you're 15 years old, here's weapons and save the world.
Yeah.
From a government who's probably not doing so bad.
and she's always in love with like 2 different guys. you
Right?
know?
And then
There was one movie that was based off of those like that whole young adult section is Cirque du Freak, but it had John C. Reilly in it, so it was good.
Oh
I
my
actually
God.
kind of remember. I remember seeing some, and I had no idea it existed.
Yeah.
So...
And Carell put it on. We were watching the movie. I don't know if it was on something, and I was like, "Holy shit, John C. Reilly's in this!" And suddenly, I was just like really into it.
I got glued to it once I saw he was like, John C. Reilly is a vampire.
Yeah, the Cirque du Freak.
Yeah.
Every time I hear John C. Reilly, for some reason, I instantly think of John C. McGinley, but then go back and think
I
of
just
like,
think of Tim and Eric Awesome shows. Just
Yeah.
like Shrimp Boy.
Yeah, like when it's like sashimi's just cat scraps. He was so good as Dr. Steve Brule. So I guess there is something good that came about it. I like the Percy Jackson movies were pretty well done too.
They were alright.
okay,
yeah.
so here's the thing. Percy Jackson was only good because it was Greek mythology.
That is, yeah, I did play on something that.
And
I'm
also
very
because it
familiar
has
with.
Alexandra Daddario, I forgot her name.
From True Detective.
She's so
Yeah.
freaking hot.
Yes,
oh my
she
god.
is.
Well, you know, and I mean that's the way that most of these movies are going to work. They have a bit of flavors for everybody. I say flavors because I can't think of a better word. Also, I was reading your cut there. Flavors to go. The fact of the matter is, like a lot of these movies, they by all means they suck. But then you're gonna find something that you're gonna like about it. Other people love them because they're based on books they've read them, and or they're based on familiar
It's
stories.
not that I love it. It's just got one element where I'm like, yeah, this is watchable.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's one of those movies that I'm kind of like conflicted about as like whether I like it or not is The Lightning Thief. It's got like Nicolas Cage and Jay Baruchel in it.
Oh yeah.
That was that's not like
No, Sorcerer or something.
Yeah, you're thinking about the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Okay, so
That's a Disney movie. Though.
Sorry.
but see, okay, so the entire time,
Kind of a similar like
Vibe.
way that a similar vibe that those other movies.
I just like it
really
because
go at.
that
Definitely.
dude's from Canada and he's just that
Yeah, but
like weird scrawny Canada guy.
He's like, I gotta train my dragon.
the entire time was like, well, I don't know, I can't go out there, and she's out there, and I got another magic, and he's like, listen, kid, you gotta go out there and do stuff, and he's like, well, thank you, mate, you made me feel a lot better, and he's like, high praise, you know.
They just start screaming bees over and over.
Bees!
Why did it have to be
Bees! And he's like, I'm gonna go play hacky. That guy was in probably one of my the most recent films that I just love in the past couple of years is Goon.
Oh yeah,
Goon.
the Jay Baruchel.
I haven't seen that yet, man.
Oh,
But he was
So
so
good.
different in Goon.
Sean William Scott at his best.
I heard it was really
it
good.
was
So
so just
And you got Liev Schreiber.
At
They're
least-
just like knocking each other out.
man, they're just
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I want to see that so bad. I haven't
It's
gotten around to it yet.
Who doesn't
There's
like
like-
hockey fights?
there's a lot of really good one-liners like use your big boy words.
But Jay Baruchel in the movie plays kind of like an asshole.
Yeah,
he runs his like internet podcast thing about hockey and mostly like the
Oh.
amateur.
Ice hot.
Oh,
Is that what it was
he's
called?
in it?
Well, you know,
he's like just very crass, and he's the guy standing in the stands like screaming at the
screaming,
players,
"Fuck
and
you!"
getting in fights.
69.
Yeah.
Just 69.
It's a
It's
big-
hilarious.
Big difference from his normal.
Well, like when he was in
role.
friggin' like Knocked Up, he's always so weird and like.
I
Good
rewatched that
gives me
recently.
the Trailer Park Boys feel. Well, speaking of, they're actually in that movie anyway. They're his tech guys.
Really?
When they're doing the
I've
recording of the
never
show.
watched Trailer Park Boys.
Oh man, it's so just.
I've seen like 5 episodes of it. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
I don't even know what it is.
It's
Like,
just they're like in their 11th
They're
or
just
12th season
yeah,
though, and it's like
they got picked
yeah.
up by Netflix recently because they got dropped by the regular networks.
Yeah.
And Netflix was like, yeah, we'll do a season with you guys.
But they understood their potential.
So,
Oh.
you know what?
I didn't realize how
This
late
is
it
literally okay. So you guys remember that movie, or maybe you don't because this is Shakespeare. Much Ado About Nothing.
No.
No, into the play. No.
No.
I mean, that's
I was
Shakespeare.
in theater for like 8 years and I don't even remember it right now.
Well,
It sounds like an Opeth album.
it does, right? It's like do 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 do.
You can't-
It's like, well, what happened to the
That's
Good
why I
Boys?
love Opeth. They can go like straight from like death metal to like this melodic.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like to
They
tear
come
your
up-
eyes out.
They come up on my Pandora quite a bit.
He's used Pandora. What a pleb.
You're not on
But I
Spotify.
use it all day at work.
There you go, you motherfucker.
You're not on Spotify?
Well, dude, I can't download it because I don't have Amber rights. Oh, can't do it.
Well, it's just download on your phone.
Because I have LG POS.
Before
Oh,
we
so
go,
an LG.
I wanted to.
But it's like one of the off-brand LG, like one from fucking Metro PCS.
The LG Tiger with a Y.
Yeah.
and the A for instead of the ER, it's a tiger, and then on the back it has a tiger doing this.
Tiger's a rapper.
It's a phone. So much like the Shakespeare play, this entire podcast has been about nothing. And I think that this is a lot of fun, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming out.
Good rambles.
We didn't touch on everything we wanted to talk about, but then again, I think we learned from Jared. Subway, we don't touch on everything.
I'm so ashamed of myself. I had Subway for the first time since Jared got like.
Well, again,
got
we're
sent to
talking
jail.
about Subway, Jared, not our Jared.
I was gonna say, which Jared are we talking about
Well,
here?
I mean, there's a really gray line there.
Yeah, I'm talking about Subway Jared.
Yeah.
I tried to boycott, but I couldn't stay away
I
from
boycotted
them
our
meatballs.
Jared, but then
Meatballs.
What if Jared met Jared?
I'll do the whirlwind. they become one. They do. He'd love to do a fusion dance then, wouldn't he? Not because of like any particular reasons, but
Hey, in the next episode, we need to see if we can get Jared to say his name backwards so we can seal him back in that box.
oh yeah,
He's weeb cute.
yeah,
His weeb cute.
fucking like fucking Superman. He'd be stuck in a cellophane S and we'd throw him out there. S stands for suck. So either way,
It's not backwards. It's just upside down.
We had a lot of fun today. I
lot.
thank Frank and thanks Tony for coming out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's
awesome.
It's awesome having you guys, and we're gonna do this again.
Definitely.
Have a nice sit down and just talk about literally anything.
Yeah, it's like we only scratched the surface, I think, of like kind of what we plan to talk about. I think we were, these things they always have.
We never even talked about the Oscars.
I know, right? Well, there's reasons we don't talk about the Oscars right now. Like
So much controversy.
Well, see, the idea we were going to talk about the Oscars, and then it's like maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because we're going to say something that maybe I think Revenant deserves an Oscar, and someone's going to say you're not right.
I haven't seen Revenant yet, so I'll just reserve.
Revenant.
Awesome.
I would argue that not because of the fact that it was that whole he should get an Oscar. It was a really good film.
Dude, yeah, Bear.
Yeah, he deserved it.
It was Matt Damon has a series of really. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Matt Damon.
Leonardo
Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong DiCaprio has a series of really shitty days.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Oh, dude, and then what's his face? Bane does a pretty good job in that
Tom
movie
Hardy.
too.
Tom Hardy's awesome.
Yeah, I want to know what he does. I love Tom Hardy.
So he
You'll watch the movie and you won't even recognize it's him until like 15, 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
You're like, that's him?
Then you're gonna realize one characteristic about him. You're gonna go, oh.
He's gonna be like, I was wondering.
I'm here to fight the bear.
I don't know.
You were merely born into the forest and was molded by it. I didn't see a bear until I was already a man.
So the last bit, I'm gonna try to do this because you said John C. Reilly earlier.
Oh, so yeah,
And
his John C. Reilly is like a much lower pitched version of his Billy Crystal. They're kind of similar and it's a little slower.
Well, oh man, I can't even do it now. So there it was, right? And I saw the giraffe, and I said, "You're gonna give me that giraffe right there," and they said, "We can't," but then they did. Either way,
Not quite how the quote goes, but I get
you
it.
get what I'm saying, right?
He
I
says,
got a
we'll
question
pay
for
you like $800 for the shows. I know you won't. You give me that giraffe right there. And they did. They gave it right to me.
I just want to do one last thing before we go. We're gonna do the outro. Pick a voice. You do your voice.
Oh man,
Make you
all of mine are like super like not PC.
I have my impression already.
Okay, Brandon, you're gonna do your impression. Just pick one in your mind right now.
Okay.
Okay, so hey guys, thanks for listening to Alamo City Geek Speak. I'm Billy Crystal.
I'm Mickey Mouse.
And I'm George Takai.
And this is Patrick Warburton.
You have a great night, all right? Make sure to put that thing back where you found it. Or something like that. I don't remember. That fucking movie.
But Dad.